Welcome to Perspectives El Paso. I'm Professor Leon Blevins, Professor of Government at El Paso Community College. I have a very unusual interview today. Here we are in early March of 2015. And the interview that I'm doing is with one of my students from last fall semester. Near the end of the semester, something came up about me being Uncle Sam and posing for pictures with beauty queens. And a young lady in the class named Kenya Puertas, she says, well, I was named Miss El Paso La Feria. And I said, well, we need to do a picture. We need to do a photograph before this semester ends next week. So we did. We posed for a picture in the classroom. And here I am as Uncle Sam. And here is, wow, Kenya Puertas. Thanks
Hello,
for being
sir.
on the show today.
No, it's an honor being here. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Okay. Now here's the unusual introduction. You see I'm holding a piece of paper. And as an actor and a reenactor, I've had the privilege of posing for hundreds of pictures with pageant winners. I've picked out 10 of the more interesting pictures here. The first one is 1988, and I'm not in the picture, but I did get invited to meet all the contestants for Miss USA here in El Paso. In 1992, I was Uncle Sam and posed for a picture with Miss Texas, Margaret Ann Johnson, at a July the 4th parade that I've done for many, many years. I was Chico, the mariachi dancer, and posed for a picture with Miss El Paso, Sylvia Camañas, in an El Paso Community College photography class. I was Zorro and posed for a picture with the Sun Queen, Michelle Maluli, at an El Paso library program at Washington Park. I was Don Juan Dionate and posed with Miss El Paso USA, Emma Hill, whose mother taught at the community college. I was Chopin at the Chopin Music Festival and posed for a photograph with Sarah Nazario at that festival, and my wife Shanna Blevins was there in that photograph with the ladies in waiting and the Sun Princesses at the Sun Parade. In 2012, I posed at early El Paso County Sheriff's, and Miss El Paso Teen was there, Hannah Warnock, at the Airborne Division Museum event here in El Paso. Uncle Sam with Miss Fort Bliss and Miss Fort Bliss Teen, Alina Boozer, and Sarah Jordan. And look who I have with me now. And we move to a real interview with someone beside me, and we've already had the picture, so we don't have to do the picture again. Tell me about this. How did you get involved in pageants?
It's a really unbelievable story, but it was very unexpected. It was an afternoon during the week, and I was doing homework. Okay. And my boyfriend was there with me. And out of nowhere, the commercial from Lares Productions come out on TV, and he tells me, you should join the pageant. And I'm like, no.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, I know, right? And I told him, like, no, I'm not that confident. I used to think I'm not that pretty. No, I don't want to. He's like, come on, just try it. All right, I submit the application. The next week, they call me, okay, we have a meeting. And I went to the meeting. Months passed by, I got ready for the pageant, and here I am in my first pageant, and I won. It was a very unexpected experience, which I'm loving it.
Well, you need to tell us his name, the one that inspired you to make that call. What's his name?
His name is Isaac Puente. He's my boyfriend. He's the one responsible for all of this.
Oh my goodness sakes. Well, how do you feel about, this is personal opinion, we're just having a conversation. How do you feel about children's pageants, the little girls?
I'm not gonna lie, I know a lot of little girls that they're little Miss El Paso, little junior Miss El Paso. Yes. I mean, they're wonderful girls. Their moms treat them like princes, what they really are. But I mean, I love children's pageants, not only because I'm a pageant girl, but sometimes I think that parents can get a little bit too aggressive.
Pushing them a bit.
Pushing them to their limits. I mean, they're little girls, you know, they're just enjoying having fun, the cameras and meeting new people. But I mean, in my opinion, it's a very good opportunity for little kids, but sometimes parents, they push them to their limits.
Well, the Guy Rex Associates, I know that they used to say something like this: our pageants are not just about pretty faces. No. Talk about this. What were your other things that you had to do besides look pretty?
Oh God, besides looking pretty.
Did you have to model? Did you have to what? Did Laura Rayborn, did she or her staff teach you how to walk?
Well, actually, Laura Rayborn, she's my director, but I have my personal coaches. Their names are Roberto Chavez and Hector Chavez. Okay. They're the ones that prepared me for, we had only 1 week to prepare, by the way.
Oh my word.
So I totally changed it.
It was a whirlwind, wasn't it?
It was like a 360 turn in 1 week only. Oh, wow. And they taught me how to walk properly in a nightgown, how to smile, how to talk in front of people because I was very shy. I was a very shy girl.
Okay.
And it's not only walking there looking pretty, smiling and winning. No, you need to learn, you need to know how to talk. You need to know your history about your city. You need to transmit positive vibes to others, to those young girls that are looking at you. You have to be a role model.
You see, that's the reason I introduced this program the way I did. These young women that I met and posed for pictures with, they are to be honored because they have become civic ambassadors. They go into schools, they go into nursing homes, they do all kinds of programs. What about, were you required to go to a certain number of programs, or did you get to select programs you wanted to go to? How does that work?
Well, actually, I have both of the options. I can ask my director if I can go to schools. Like today, I asked her if I can come to my school because I attend here at Paso Community College.
Okay.
If I can come here and do this interview. But most of the time, they give us the appearances that we have to make.
Okay.
And they're very, very fun appearances. We go to senior centers. We go to schools. Now, I haven't been to schools yet, but we will go. We go to, I went to Western Tech College.
Okay.
And to the Christmas lighting of El Paso.
Right.
And it's very, very, very fun, and they're incredible experiences.
Well, I know that you invited me to the one at Christmas. I wasn't able to get down there at that particular one. I've been to many of these senior citizen programs and posed for some of those seniors. Aren't they delightful to visit with?
Oh, yes, they're very fun. They're very, very fun. So it was a great experience because I live with my grandparents.
Okay.
So I love, having to deal with the older people.
Right.
I just love that feeling of getting to help them and their smiles on their faces and them wanting to take pictures with me. They're just so sweet to be around with.
You're going to school.
Yes.
You're still going to community college? And this, do you have a major?
Yes.
What is that?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
Okay. And you've told me before that you're going to finish this semester and then start going to UTEP.
Yes, sir. I'm going to move on to UTEP. Go big.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. Well, what have been some of the highlights, things you've already done?
Things that I've already done.
Yeah. Besides winning the pageant and going to senior citizen centers, something that's kind of special and you're telling people about. I got to do this. Or meet this person.
I got to meet, I don't know her name, but I got to meet this little girl. We were at the Christmas lighting of the tree of El Paso.
I saw it on television.
Yes, and we were there, and the little girl, she comes up to me and she tells me, "You're beautiful, can I take a picture with you?" I'm like, "Of course." Took a picture, so I carried her in my arms, and her mom comes up to me and she started crying, and I'm like, what's the matter, ma'am? And she tells me, she's like, my daughter, her dream has always been to be a princess like you, a beauty queen. And I'm like, oh, thank you very much. You will be a beautiful princess when you grow up. And the little girl, she had a cancer. And my eyes filled up with tears, and I took as many pictures as I could. You know, it was a feeling that I had never experienced in my life, ever, you know. Having that opportunity to take a picture with the little girl, I mean, making her night, it was
That's
just
a crystal moment. It's in your mind.
Yes, it's something that I will never forget. I mean, it's here, but most importantly, I mean, it's here.
Okay.
It's something incredible. I got goosebumps just talking about it.
Well, tell me about the expense. You just jumped right into this. All of a sudden, there you are. You win this, and you have to deal with makeup and hair and clothes. And I know that can get rather expensive.
Oh yes, ask my mom. Ask my mom. It's very expensive. I mean, yes, it's very expensive, as I said, but you can also find sponsors. So you won't have to struggle going, I mean, because nightgowns, that's the most expensive part of the pageants, the nightgowns. I mean, they go up from $400 up to $2,000, the gowns. And I'm not gonna lie, my gown was pretty expensive. And I got my mom, she has a boutique, so she sponsored me. But I mean, other girls that are in pageants, they either get their sponsors or it comes out right out of their pocket.
Now, who is your mom?
My mom, my mom is Ileana Aguilar, and she was my main sponsor for everything: hair, makeup, dresses, shoes, everything. And I thank her very much for.
Would you like to
she
thank
did.
some of your sponsors?
Well, she was my only sponsor.
Oh, she was the only sponsor?
Yes, she was my only sponsor.
Okay, but some of the others, you know, they had to get business people or educational institutions or something like that to sponsor them.
Yes, they did.
And I've had some pictures made with like Miss Lulac or Miss Fiesta de las Flores. Tell us about Miss El Paso La Feria. What is this?
Well, there's a convention every year. It's an annual convention that's held here in El Paso. It's called La Feria de la Familia. And what they do there, they are trying to tell, it's mostly for older people. They're trying to tell them about the benefits that there is for Medicare, Medicaid, all the expenses that they don't have to go through. They bring famous people into town to attract people to go into that convention. There's a lot of advertising going on, local boutiques, local businesses that have the opportunity to be there in that convention and to tell people about their business. And Laura Rayburn came up with the great idea of having a pageant there to attract more people to go into that convention. And here I am as Miss El Paso La Feria,
oh my
2014, 2015.
Well, I have a granddaughter named Taya Rose. She's a senior at Eastwood High School, and she's already been drawn into modeling. And so she goes and she models for Mercedes-Benz or other functions and things like that. And so that's a great learning experience. And she's always talking about trying to teach her to walk a certain way and look a certain way, pose for pictures a certain way. And I'll say, couldn't they make you look happier? Sometimes they want you to be, is that right? Have you found sometimes people want you to be too serious looking?
Yes, be serious. And other people, you're too serious, be happy. You're too happy, be serious. What do you guys want? What do you guys want?
Oh my goodness. Now some of them that I've met, some of the pageant winners I met, they got a scholarship. Did you get a scholarship for winning this?
Unfortunately, no, I did not. I got cash prizes and a lot of goodies, makeup and gift cards. But last night, if you guys don't know, there was a pageant called Miss El Paso America and Miss El Paso Outstanding Teen. And my boutique, my parents and my boutique were sponsors for that pageant. And the winners, they got a Miss Outstanding Teen. She got a 2,000 or 1,000 scholarship prize.
Well, that's good.
Which is really good.
Oh,
really, really good. That's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Now, what's the chit-chat that goes on between you and other pageant winners about these events?
The winners or the competitors?
The competitors and winners. Tell us both sides.
Well, oh my God. Before the pageant, when everyone's very nervous, everyone tries to be the friendliest girl ever in the world. Can you help me with my hair? Can you help me with my dress? I mean, honestly, everyone thinks that behind the scenes of a pageant, everyone hates each other and don't look at me, you're just ugly. But I mean, no. I mean, maybe, but there's competition going on. Obviously, it's a competition, but there's a lot of kindness. Girls telling you, oh my God, you look so pretty. Oh my God, can you help me with my hair, my makeup? And you want to be nice because you're already there, you know, and the crown is only going to be for one girl. I mean, if it were for me, I would crown everyone because, oh my God, all those girls are gorgeous. I would crown each and every one of them, but I mean, there's not a lot of much going on behind the scenes. But with the winners, with the pageant winners, our conversations where we talk about where have you been today? What appearances do you have today? What do you have to do? How did it go with your competition? And, you know, questions about where'd you get your dress and where'd you get your shoes? I mean, it's girly questions.
Did you have to answer some questions during the competition about civic affairs, current events, or anything like that?
Actually, I was very lucky because my question was very easy. My question was, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh. That's a softball.
And I'm like, well, thank you. And I grabbed the mic and I'm like, hello, I was 19 when I won. Hello, my name is Kenya. I'm 19 years of age. I attend El Paso Community College. And I went on, and it was I was very lucky because.
But weren't all of you worried when you were having chit chat about what's the question going to be that I might get and what will I do?
We were scared to death. We're like, what did they ask us about President Lincoln and his life when he was 5 years old? There's something. We're like, oh my God. But no, me and some other girl got the easiest questions, but the other girls, they got very difficult questions.
Oh my goodness.
I was looking at them like, oh my God. Oh my God!
Well, I'm glad I didn't get that one.
Think about my history class going on, like, oh my God.
Right. Well, were some of the girls that you were competing against, had they competed in other pageants and didn't win, and then they tried this one?
Actually, one of them that I know, I don't remember the name, but she told me that this was her third year, and I competed against her. But this was her third year competing for Miss El Paso La Feria title, and she was hoping to win that day.
Oh no!
But I mean, yes.
You felt for her, but you were glad you won.
Yes, I was like, oh, what can I do? Sorry.
Well, would this make you want to compete maybe in another pageant?
Actually, I am preparing myself already for another pageant. It's a very, very big pageant. It's called Nuestra Belleza Latina. It's just like Miss Universe, but in a Latin, with Latin girls.
Okay.
From Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Colombia, other Latin places.
Oh, much broader.
Oh, yes.
Well, your coaches, your personal coaches are working with you on that?
Yes, they are. Physically, mentally, everything. Yes.
Okay. How many people do you think, I should interview Miss Laura to find out about this.
You should.
But you've been to her offices, okay, and there are people coming in and out all the time.
Oh, yes. She's very busy.
And all the conversations that are going on, and some are saying, well, why don't you enter this pageant? Why don't you enter that pageant?
Oh, yes. And how come you didn't go here? And how come you? And I'm like, oh my God, no, I have school, you know? I'm like, school is right now my first priority, you know?
Exactly.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love being a beauty queen for El Paso, but I want to finish my school first and then move on to pageants. I want to finish my school, get it over with, and then continue with pageants as a side thing.
That's called wisdom.
Right?
Do you have siblings?
Yes,
Brothers
I
or
do.
sisters?
I have an older sister. She is 22.
And they go around talking about what you're doing,
Oh,
and
yes.
showing pictures.
Showing,
and all
oh, my sister, by the way, she just won. And I'm like, stop.
And Facebook, you're on Facebook? And
on Instagram. I don't have a Facebook.
You're on
Instagram, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, yes. They go all over the places. Oh, this is my mom, especially my mom. Oh, well, my younger daughter, she just got a title. And I'm like, Mom, stop. Like, stop.
Now, if you wanted, I'm not sure if you want to give out your telephone number or website or anything. That's entirely up to you. But if you wanted to go out and do some event, would they go through Miss Laura and contact and ask if you wanted to go out?
Yes, it will go with Miss Laura.
Yeah,
Miss
that's
Laura's
better than giving out your number.
Because she's my director.
Because you're a beautiful woman. If I give out your telephone number, you're going to get 1 million telephone calls.
Mr. Blevin, see what happens. Just kidding.
No. You already have a boyfriend.
I already have a boyfriend.
Well, that's what I teased the women in 1988, the Miss USA contestants. I got to meet them backstage and have snacks, chips, and dips with them. And some of them are already engaged, but they had to be single in order to compete, so they were delaying getting married until they did that.
No kids and single.
Yeah. What about the backdrop? I'll never forget that there was a woman from she told me, she called me and asked me to come and meet the women in the pageant. And she said she was a producer from Hollywood working with the Guy Rex Associates. So that evening when I went down there, we had a big photo shoot, the night before the live telecast, the photo shoot, and she tried to work me into that. And so she took me backstage and showed me all of the sets and scenery. How did you feel about that? Did you have fancy sets behind you at the pageant itself? Some of these we see are kind of stark, kind of plain, and then others have, like they had for Miss USA, kind of elaborate scenery and background.
Oh, well, this pageant, it wasn't that plain. It was something like this background. Okay. It's just the platform where you walk in and when you walk out, and the title of the convention, La Feria de la Familia. Okay. A few flowers here and there, but it wasn't a big sparkling.
Not a big production.
Yeah, no.
And not a group dance kind of production at any time during the pageant. Was there something like that?
I think there was several groups from El Paso. Folklorico, I think Folklorico of El Paso.
So some entertainment to go along with it.
There was some. Oh my God, I forgot the name, but there were some famous singers and famous mariachis from here, from El Paso, and it was really fun, but I was like very nervous backstage, listening to everything that was going on.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your biggest reward of this? What do you think has been the most that you've gotten as a reward for being named this in such a whirlwind way? Is it learning more poise? Learning more, having the ability to do this kind of television program or go out and meet people?
I think what I got out of this the most that has really helped me and has caused a positive impact in my life has been my confidence. I was a very shy person, insecure girl. And I mean, this pageant has really, really changed the way I think about myself and the way I see things. I mean, I wouldn't be here talking to you because I was very shy, I was very insecure, I was a very negative person. And my coaches, they brought out the good in me, the real Kenya, you know? And I feel like such a new person after this pageant. I feel like I was reborn and I was very positive and energized, and I think that's the best of this pageant.
Today I went to my classes. You've seen me do wild class things. Today I went to, as a brand new character today, I went to class and I wore a cap that said "Vote Awesome," and a shirt that talked about awesome. And I said, "Oh, look, I'm awesome, huh?" I said, sometimes a student will say, "Mr. Blevins, you're awesome." And I'll say, "Thank you for the compliment." But it's when I start feeling I am awesome that I'm in trouble. If I get on an ego trip and I think I really am wonderful. Do you see that with some of the pageant winners maybe?
Oh, yes.
They get to thinking they're more beautiful than anybody else.
They think I've seen some girls that they think they're on top of the world. And they need a little bit of a reality check. But I mean, all of us are different, you know? I'm no one to judge.
Right.
And I'm a very simple girl. I'm a very humble girl, you know.
Okay.
I get along with everyone, always in a good mood. But there's girls that just
Get a little conceited?
get a little conceited, you know, tone it down a little bit. But yeah, there's all type of different.
And you weren't out there
queens.
trying to get in the pageant. Oh,
I
you want to do
wasn't.
this? I want to win a pageant.
I wasn't.
It was your boyfriend saying, "Get out there."
And I'm like, no, stop. And everyone, my whole family got mad because they told me, "How come you didn't invite us to a pageant?" And I told them I didn't want anyone to know that I was competing in this pageant.
You didn't invite your family members to the pageant?
No one. Only my boyfriend and my parents and my sister were there. But I didn't want anyone to know because I wasn't ready. I didn't see myself winning with a crown.
Yeah.
I didn't want anyone to know.
Because then you might have been embarrassed.
Yes, I
if
would
that
have
had
been
happened. Yeah.
brought down because I didn't win. But
And now you're inviting them to pageants,
now
right?
I'm like, you guys better go. You guys better come.
Bring your cameras, take pictures.
Yes, come on, guys. I
Sign
invite everyone now.
autographs. You'll sign autographs for your mother now.
Oh, yes.
Well, I think that's funny. And I'm delighted to have you on this, and you have such a
no.
good attitude about it.
Yes, it's a great thing.
Attitude is everything when it comes to a pageant,
Oh, yeah.
I would say. When I mentioned to some of my friends, colleagues, and some of my students that I was going to be interviewing you today, they wanted to come and be in on the interview. I said, "No, she's my interview, not yours."
Calm down, please.
Yeah, go away.
Go away. She has a boyfriend, not just kidding.
Well, this is wonderful. Have you told anybody in classes you've been in, or anybody in your classes community they've seen you, know that you're a pageant winner? You didn't tell me until the last day of class.
No, I wasn't used to my title yet, but now I walk throughout the hallways, or I'm walking somewhere, and it was this one time I was running to my car because I had forgotten my book for my class, and I hear a girl, that's the girl, I told you that I had won." And I'm like, "Oh my God." I was like, well, they're
Now
talking
you're
about
famous.
me. I'm like, "Oh God." It feels so good. So
Now, they have this pageant every year. Is it in
Yes.
the fall?
It's in October.
In October.
October, November.
Now, this year, 2015, say it's in October, will you be the one that crowns the new queen?
Yes. I don't want to. I'm just kidding.
Oh, do you give up that crown?
No, I get to keep it.
Well, that's what I want. Yeah, but
I get to keep it.
But
yes.
you'd like to keep the title as well as that
Yes.
crown.
Yeah, I would love to. But I'm going on to a bigger title, so
Oh yeah.
bigger opportunities.
And
I
a
hope
bigger
so.
title is when you get that college degree.
I hope so.
And
College
bigger
is
than that, when you
expensive.
finally go out and start making a living and pay for all these clothes.
Oh God, yes. My mom's all the way up to here because of all the expenses.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, this is one thing I was really wondering about with you, was how it's impacted you, and you've kept your good sense of
Very
humor about it
positive
and
way.
everything. Okay, we have 2 minutes left. Any last things you'd like to say to young women out there that might want to enter a pageant?
You know, it's a very fun experience. Not only is it a wonderful experience because you get a title and you get to look pretty and you go to different places, but you get a lot of opportunities. I've had a lot of people asking me to model for the companies, to model for the boutiques. You get a lot of job opportunities.
Right.
A lot of doors open for you, and for those moms that think that pageants are for conceited girls and, you know, selfish girls, I mean, they're not. They're full of positive things, as I said, opportunities, and you get to meet wonderful people, wonderful people.
And it's people like you that make El Paso a beautiful place in which to live.
No, thank you so very much.
Thanks for being here today. And thank those of you out there in television land. This has been a very unusual program, and we're glad that you watched. I'm Leon Blevins.